All right, good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Michael Hawker. I'm Dean for the UTRGV School of Medicine and Senior Vice President for UT Health RGV. I'd like to welcome you all. This is an exciting day for us. First of all, I'd like to say welcome to what we're going to call the UTRGV McAllen Academic Medical Campus. So from what you see, anything that looks like a hayfield, with the exception of a few small pieces here and there on that side and over here, UTRGV owns all that property. I didn't sleep well last night. And I felt like a kid before Christmas morning. And I told my wife this morning, I was like, I'm not nervous in getting up in front of talking to people. That isn't what made me nervous. It's a $150 million building that we're going to put here that made me nervous. But today's really a great day as we look at, this is a landmark event for UTRGV in the Rio Grande Valley. I heard Guy Bailey say this, and I hope I'm not stealing any of your later thunder, but this is really our first de novo campus under the UTRGV umbrella. We have some amazing legacy institutions and have done some amazing things there. But as UTRGV, this will be our first true academic campus. This will be our site of our first academic endeavor here on this campus, and that will include a specialty center, cancer center, and surgery center. I have to thank a lot of people, and so I'm going to try to get through this quickly, but we are truly incredibly blessed, and a lot of people that are sitting here today made this possible and will continue to make this possible. But I have to thank the UT system for their continued support, their investment in UTRGV and the School of Medicine, all the state folks, the folks in the region, the politicians who fought long and hard to bring this medical school here because they knew what it would do for this community as we transform the health of the Rio Grande Valley. And the way we do that is by providing high quality patient-centered and family-centered care, innovative education, life-changing discoveries, and service within our community. So I'm going to try to get through this quickly, but I'd like to thank a couple of people. First of all the folks who put this together. Again, any of you who've done this know that there's so many folks behind the scenes that never get seen or thanked, and so you know who you are. Thank you. So I have an incredible executive leadership team, and if they could just quickly stand up, Mr. Mike Patriarca, Dr. Michael Dobbs, I don't know if I saw him, he had a death in the family. You can stay standing. Dr. Michael Sanders, Selena is somewhere here, Sophia Hernandez, Angie Cook, Jeremy Gibson, and Joe Galvan. And I want to say also if Ramey Banfield can stand up, I'm not sure where Ramey is. This is the team that really took the idea here and ran with it, and really every week we meet and talk about what we're doing, but what our future is at UTRGV School of Medicine. And I thank you for your guidance, leadership, and getting us to this point. We have some special guests from, I'll just say it's probably the most known, world-renowned cancer center in the world, MD Anderson. And as I arrived, one of the decisions we made was to partner in an advisory role with MD Anderson because we knew they knew how to do cancer care probably better than anybody else in the world. And we owe so much to their expertise, and if the folks from MD Anderson could stand up, I'd like to say thank you for your advice, for helping us. They've provided specialty expertise that perhaps we didn't have in the Valley. Again, every step of the way of the design and build, they've been there right with us, and we will continue to work with them collaboratively to make this the kind of cancer center that the RGV needs and deserves. There's a lot of community leaders here and donors, And I can't say thank you enough to all of them. I do want to recognize two special individuals who actually are the first contributors to this center, and that's Dr. Gopal and Elizabeth Krishnan, if you can stand up. So not only are they donors, but they were pioneers in orthopedics and OBGYN care when the Valley first started getting board-certified emergency physicians. And if you have an opportunity to talk to them about the history of medicine in the Rio Grande Valley, they'd be a great group to talk with. There's too many elected officials to name them all, so if I could just ask all the elected officials and those representing either the region or state, if you could stand up, we'd like to recognize all of you. I'll just keep going. You know, I have an incredible cohort that Guy Bailey has put together, and the most welcoming group of senior leaders and VPs and deans of the other schools here at UTRGV. If you could all stand up. Anybody in the Dean's Advisory Group? So you would be amazed how many deans it takes to run a medical school. Can you stand up? Anybody in the Dean's Advisory Group? I don't know how many other students, faculty, staff, residents we have here, but thanks for believing in us. Thanks for coming here, working for us, getting educated here, and supporting our missions. There's another special group that's the chairs and the center directors. Those are our servant leaders that every day come to work and really make the School of Medicine happen. If the chairs and center directors could stand up. All right, I'm getting there, I promise. There's another group, again, when you take on a project like this, I remember when we first started about this project, talking about it and the scale, and then where we're at today. It's been a dramatic increase, which obviously when you increase the scope and scale of that, you increase the cost of it. And I can't say thank you enough to our finance teams, both on the School of Medicine, Mike Patriarca, Melba Sanchez, Carla Loyola, but also on the university side, Mike Mueller. Thank you for getting us here. Most importantly, though, I think the most important people I could thank today are our patients and families in the RGV who entrusted with us their medical care and treatment, and that's really what we're here for. So I'd like to introduce the first speaker, and I really can't say enough about this individual. I knew when I came here he was special. He's our champion. He's our fearless leader. He garners respect in a way that I haven't seen other people do, with a calm demeanor, a genuine interest in others, and he has this unwavering commitment to education and progress. I really look at this and say, some people have heard me say this before, it's almost unimaginable what he's done. He's taken, in a very short time, two legacy institutions, combined them into form a successful one university. He started a medical school, a podiatric school, and recruited an amazing group of leadership team. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Guy Bailey.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. You know, I've been in the Valley now over 8 years. I came here July 1st, 2014. It's been the most wonderful time of my life. Not only have we been able to achieve some marvelous things together, I met the dream of my life. Where is she? Somewhere around here. She came in earlier and said, oh, where are you? Oh, yeah, there you are, right in front of me. So, and these have been the best years of my life. And so one of the reasons they've been the best years of my life is that you know, we have we've done ribbon cuttings on a lot of things, but what we're really doing a ribbon cutting on today is not a building, but a dream. 1947, right? Remember this day? Medical school was first proposed for the Rio Grande Valley in the Texas legislature. It took it until 2013 to get done, until people like Senator Hinojosa were able to make that thing happen. Think about that. It was a dream that people kept pushing and kept pushing until it got done. Think about it. And so we've cut ribbon on the medical school on a dream come true. We're doing the same thing today. I want you to think about this. This is really a dream come true. I mentioned my wife. A few of you have been around long enough to know her late mother, Ann Lamantia, right? She was kind of legendary in the community. I never got the chance to meet her. Never got the chance to see the wonderful woman. I hear she died of cancer at age 50. I want you to think about that. She couldn't get treatment in the valley. She had to go elsewhere. Part of our dream is to provide the treatment for people so they don't have to go elsewhere. They can do it right here in the valley so that people don't die of cancer at age 50. Right? That's the dream. When we cut this ribbon today, think about this. It's not a building. It's a dream that we're fulfilling. All of you are helping us fulfill this dream. We appreciate MD Anderson, everything, all the help you've provided us. We appreciate all the community leaders and your support. It's really unparalleled. And by the way, Judy Quisenberry, I see you back there. You know, the Legacy Foundation has provided so much support for us. The Krishnans understand that this is really a dream that we're dealing with today. And so, as you see this building go up, and by the way, where's the backhoe? I thought we were going to be let's get that out of here quick. Now, we think every time you drive by here, think about it. We are fulfilling a dream that generations, a dream that predates not only my time in the valley, it predates me altogether, right? I wasn't born in 1947. So think about that. Think about that. A dream coming true. I can't think of a more important thing that I've ever been part of. I hope you feel the same way. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Bailey. I think I missed a couple of folks. So Fred Farias from the Texas Coordinating Board is here, the Coordinating Educating Board. I'll introduce a couple of the other special guests as we get to them. I just want to share a couple of thoughts and follow on what Dr. Bailey had to mention. You know, we're incredibly proud of this moment as we really witness the next phase of our evolution as an academic medical school. When I came here, I was promised this because I didn't want to go be a dean of a community medical school. No offense to our community partners, but academics is what really drives quality healthcare, education, research, and service. And that's why I'm so proud to be standing here today. You know, it's not, Guy had mentioned this, it's not about the facility. It's really, you know, this community fought for this medical school. And Senator Hinojosa, I know you were a big proponent of it, and there was many folks in the Valley who were instrumental in making this happen today. I'm gonna share some things with you. You know, we live in a region that has long been neglected. It has significant lack of access to both primary and specialty care. High percentages of diseases, which include diabetes, obesity, hypertension, Alzheimer's, neurologic disorders, and cancer. And unfortunately, these cancers are advanced. They're not found early. They're not detected. They carry high mortalities. And we know that the Valley is a place where there's significant shortages in almost every medical specialty that you can think of. And that's why the medical school was brought here. And through this campus, you know, we will expand educational opportunities for all health professions, for students, medical students, podiatry students, residents, fellows, and future faculty. And these are the future healthcare leaders in our region, in our state. But this facility will also conduct research, to better understand the disease patterns that affect those in the RGV, and will be part of the solution in the RGV. We'll carry out life-saving and novel clinical trials not otherwise currently available in this community. We'll provide multi-specialty care and access to the best care here in the Valley. Obviously, we'll contribute to the economic vibrancy of the community and provide additional jobs in the healthcare industry. So I want to spend a little bit of time about cancer specifically, and unfortunately, just like Guy mentioned, I think every one of us probably has our story of our loved one, our family. And each one of us has been inflicted by this terrible disease and lost loved ones. Cancer is not going away, although I do like MD Anderson's slogan, someday we hopefully will get rid of cancer. But just in the Valley, we're expected to see an increase over 16% in cancer diagnosis in the next 10 years. And I'll tell you another unfortunate story. Just like Guy mentioned, there are so many folks in the Valley who have had to leave the Valley to go get high quality cancer care. And it's an atrocity. And then there's the ones who don't have the means to leave the Valley. There's the ones who can't cross the checkpoint. They don't typically get care in the Valley. At this facility, we will provide comprehensive, high quality outpatient cancer care with both medical, radiation, and surgical oncologists. And we've already begun to recruit those individuals. We're going to be strategic. We're going to focus on the cancers that are most prevalent in the RGV, because that's why we're here. We're going to focus on prostate, breast, colorectal, and lung cancers. I think the other message is, the arrow for care has traditionally gone north, not just for cancer care, but for other specialty care. The day that we're successful is when the arrow points back down and the patients in the Valley stay in the Valley and get the high quality care that they deserve. And that will happen at this academic medical cancer center and specialty center. In addition, I think Mike Patriarca will talk about this, but we're also going to provide other specialty services here at this initial facility, which include outpatient orthopedics, surgery care, physical therapy and rehabilitation, imaging, laboratory services. At this point, I'd like to introduce somebody that I've already mentioned, Mike Patriarca, who is our Executive Vice Dean for the School of Medicine and VP for UT Health RGV. This is my right-hand man on many days. He tells me what I should do, what I shouldn't do. I think the thing I remember most about him is when I got here, I was talking, and he interjected and said, that dean, he knows just enough to be dangerous. I haven't heard him say that lately. But he has been the spearhead of this project, and I couldn't be more thankful to have him there leading this charge. So, Mike.
Good morning. Thank you, Dean, for that kind introduction. In addition to the roles that Dean mentioned, I'm also project advocate for the Cancer and Surgery Center. I haven't gotten the job description for that yet, but I think it's important. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a Valley native, originally from Brownsville, and today marks an important milestone for this project. So much has been done to get us to this point. Our journey as a project team started really over 2 years ago, working with our MD Anderson advisors as well as our surgery center consultants to really identify the gaps in care that exist in this region and really put together the concept for the Cancer and Surgery Center. That concept really rolled into the beginning of our planning and design that started over a year ago in the fall of 2021. So I think I was trying to figure out how to write this, and the design process, there's a key word here, involved, and it's involved. We brought in our internal and external stakeholders, basically locked in a room for days at a time. I'll just say that the folks that started out sitting next to each other weren't always sitting next to each other by the end of the day. Mapping out the flow of this facility, every nook and cranny. I want to take a moment to recognize a few of those teams here that the Dean has already mentioned. Our MD Anderson advisors, thank you. You're here with us today, and Thank you for your commitment to the region and really lifting us up on your shoulders. Your daily support and guidance has been invaluable, and I want to say thank you in advance for ongoing contribution at all hours of the days and night. UT system, I'm not sure where McAllen and team is at, but specifically the Office of Capital Projects and our architect team at HKS. Our surgery center advisor, ASD Management, who's not able to be here today. Our builder, Vaughn Construction, who's been along through the design, and in a period of unprecedented inflation and supply chain issues, I'm confident we'll stay on time and on budget for this project. Last but certainly not least, our internal and community stakeholders. At the School of Medicine, our faculty, physicians, and staff across the university. Thank you for taking the time away from your jobs to pour into this effort. This is your facility, and you are the transformers of health in the Rio Grande Valley across the education, research, and clinical missions. Okay, so what did those people locked in a room come up with? What we have coming is a state-of-the-art, 3-story, 144,000 square foot facility focused on advanced academic medical care, the first of its kind in the region. A design that matches the architectural elements from other UTRGV buildings, establishing a shared design language between this location, what we have in Edinburgh, and in Brownsville. I'll say that you'll also notice some arches in the facility that really pulls from our Brownsville campus. I joke with Dr. Bailey that those are Bailey's arches, because those were basically a requirement, right? We have our cancer center, which will bring medical oncology, infusion with 18 infusion bays, radiation oncology with 2 linear accelerators, the first of their kind in the Rio Grande Valley, and a clinical research unit, bringing together the basic science research we have with Dr. Chauhan's lab in the McAllen Research Building over to the bedside. For the surgery center, we have an ambulatory surgery center with 6 operating rooms, endoscopy, orthopedics, and rehab therapy. Support services, which will include diagnostic imaging, rehab, pharmacy, building support, clinical laboratory, and sterile processing. Staff amenities and community spaces, public lobby, our patient access and registration, conference and education and support service spaces. Although we celebrate this momentous day today, our work continues. The project team's work shifts from design over into operational readiness. Dr. Bailey, your backhoe will be here on Thursday of October 20th next week, okay? The facility will be completed in 2024. As we shift into operational readiness, we focus on the mission of the School of Medicine and the commitment to our community to deliver the level of academic care this region deserves. Thank you for celebrating with us today. This is an exciting time for all of us. I'll pass it back to you, Dean Hocker.
All right, I'd like to introduce our next speaker. I don't think anybody, probably everybody knows him, Dr. Nolan Perez. You know, I got to meet him when I interviewed here, and I appreciated who he was, but I didn't understand everything he did. But your leadership within the Valley is unbelievable, and your continued support for the Rio Grande Valley and for UTRGV is unparalleled. And our school couldn't be where it's at today without your help. But Dr. Perez is also one of our first graduates of what now is the Legacy Regional Campus. And he went away and trained. But I want to thank him for returning to the Valley. He came back and practiced here and now has a successful practice. But even more than that, he continues to work for the RGV. And he has a relentless focus on improving education and opportunities for all in the RGV. And I can't say thank you enough on behalf of the Rio Grande Valley and the state for the work you do, Nolan.
Well, thank you, Dean Hawker, and thanks to you, President Bailey. Both of you represent the vision and the bold, forward-looking, and service-oriented leadership that made today possible. And thank you, Senator Lucio, and I don't know if he's here, but I hope he's here, Thank you, Senator Hinojosa, as well as McAllen Mayor Villalobos for being with us today and every step of the way in UTRGV's mission to provide opportunity and a better quality of life for all here in the Valley. And thanks to the UTRGV faculty, staff, students, administrators, and community members who came together to make history happen. I'll digress because I thought of something just when Dean Hawker was speaking about the incredible opportunities that we have now thanks to UTRGV. You know, when we're thinking about the academic campus and the successes you've had, Dr. Bailey, you know, we've kind of coined a phrase at the system that talent is universal, but opportunity is not. And thanks to your incredible leadership and the incredible pipeline programs that you're creating for our students for undergraduate and graduate degrees, it's incredible what we're seeing. But you can also parlay that into the healthcare needs. The opportunity for state-of-the-art, world-class healthcare, especially cancer care, is universal, but the opportunity is not. And that's what makes today so special. You know, I started my medical practice in the Valley because I wanted to serve my community. And I witnessed firsthand what President Bailey and this university have accomplished in less than a decade of existence, and it is nothing short of extraordinary. UTRGV held its first graduating ceremonies in 2015, and just look at us now. Over 30,000 students that are enrolled here. We've created incredible partnerships with school districts throughout the region to provide increasing access to undergraduate and graduate degrees. We built a top-notch medical school that now has more than 200 medical students and over 200 medical residents and fellows serving in 9 hospital-based training programs throughout the Valley. UT Health RGV, the clinical practice of the RGV School of Medicine, has more than 30 patient care sites located throughout the Valley. We've opened a new podiatry school, the only one in Texas. And now we are partnering with top cancer treatment center in the world, MD Anderson Cancer Center, to provide Valley residents access to world-class medical diagnostics, specialized care, and cancer treatments. My fellow regents and I strongly believe that UT institutions play a critical role in helping Texans live longer, healthier lives. This includes fighting cancer. Today, there are few people whose lives haven't been affected by a cancer diagnosis. Cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States. In 2021 alone, there were 130,000 new cancer diagnoses in Texas, including 8,500 new cases within a 19-county region here in South Texas. With that in mind, improving access to cancer treatment for Valley residents is a top priority for our board. This new center will mean that the Valley residents will no longer need to drive hours to Houston, San Antonio, or beyond to access quality cancer care. And it will enable us to recruit and retain medical specialists and physicians to serve our community. As a board, we are proud to authorize funding. We were proud to authorize funding a mix of $145 million from Permanent University Fund, legislative support from tuition revenue bonds, and a generous $1 million gift from the City of McAllen for this transformational project that illustrates the power of collaboration, not only among UT institutions, but among UT, the state, and the City of McAllen. This new Cancer and Surgery Center, a partnership between UT Rio Grande Valley and UTMD Anderson Cancer Center, is a shining example of how UT's academic and health institutions work together to provide better outcomes for Texans. Globally recognized as the top cancer treatment center in the world, UTMD Anderson Cancer Center has been changing the lives of cancer patients and making groundbreaking research discoveries for more than 50 years. Thanks to this partnership, Valley residents will have access to this world-class treatment without leaving home. UTRGV medical students and their future patients will benefit from participating in the latest cancer research, education, and training. And this is just the beginning. This new center is part of the first phase of the medical academic medicine campus. Over the coming years, this 38-acre campus will bring together top experts, expand access to healthcare, and help us beat cancer. As a physician, a Valley native, a UT alum, and a member of the board, I'm very thankful to see this much-needed vision come to life. Thank you, President Bailey, for your exemplary leadership of UTRGV. This is a pivotal moment for the UT system, for this dynamic and innovative university and for the people of Rio Grande Valley. On behalf of the Board of Regents and the UT system, thank you to all who helped make this day possible, and God bless you.
Next speaker, the Honorable Senator Juan Hinojosa. You know, I think I've said it already, but I'll say it again. You know, this medical school wouldn't be here without his leadership. And when I have a tough day or understand what we should be doing, I go back to what he wrote in 2013, why the medical school was so important to the Valley and what our mission was. And as long as we always stay true to that, whether it's good times or bad times, we will have our compass going in the right direction. He's an advocate for the Valley. He's an advocate for our medical school. He loves to see success in students, residents, and physicians and faculty. And all of us here have benefited greatly by your leadership. I'm proud to welcome you to the stage and thank you again for all that you've done for UTRGV.
Thank you, Dean, and good morning. This is really a very exciting and special day. For us who work in the Texas legislature, sometimes we think nobody's watching, nobody's listening. We fight the challenges that we have to make sure that we get our fair share of resources, especially in healthcare. When we passed and created the medical school, Senate Bill 24 in 2013, it was a very difficult battle. The bill itself didn't get formed and agreed to until almost the deadline before the session ended. I remember Chancellor Cigaroa, I remember some of the board regents were there, and finally we were able to agree to create this great medical school and make it part of the PUF, the whole university, make it part of the PUF fund. It's very important. It provides more access to resources. You know, as to the partnering with MD Anderson, everybody knows MD Anderson. I was up in Israel a couple of years ago, and I visited Hadassah Medical Center. The first thing they asked me about MD Anderson, the reputation and the excellent service they provide. But I will say, in reality, as Dean Hawker said, many of us know someone who's been impacted or died from cancer, a family friend, neighbor, or a family member. My father died of cancer when he was 51 years old. Stomach cancer. It wasn't diagnosed until it was too late. Andy Anderson in Houston diagnosed he had cancer. By the time they operated on him, it spread to the liver. He only lived one more year after that. My mother also died of cancer. So we know cancer is a scourge that we have. And the Texas legislature is committed to providing more research, trying to find cures and minimize cancer. We have authorized over $6 billion for CIPRIT to do research and find better cures to cancer. So we're much committed to that. For me, this idea of partnering with MD Anderson started with DHR, Doctors Hospital, and the medical school, and we try to work, how do we increase better health care for all of us here in the Valley? So yes, Dean Hawker, so we don't have to travel to Houston or San Antonio all the time. Provide some of the specialties that we lack and are missing here in the Rio Grande Valley. And the medical school will get us there. But now we also want to enlarge our footprint, enlarge our healthcare services by providing a cancer facility. They'll provide the research, treatment, diagnosis, and training for our doctors. I will say this, it was, I remember a meeting with President Pister on October 30th of 2019 in Houston to talk to him and Sam Susser out of Corpus Christi to a discussion about having MD Anderson come down here to Rio Grande Valley and partner with the medical school or DHR. We're all wanting to work together to provide these services. We spent an hour and a half to 2 hours just discussing the needs of this type of research, the need for MD Anderson to have a footprint here and help us set up this facility. It took a while, a lot of teamwork, as you heard all the details, this type of efforts, this type of projects, take teamwork. Everybody has to do their part, right? Everybody, and everybody's important. And to me, as we move forward, we'll continue expanding our services. We'll continue working together. I know sometimes the challenge and the project and our goals seem like, God, it's a lot of work. How are we gonna get that done? But if we take a very positive approach, we can do approach. Here in the Rio Grande Valley, we have the human capital. We have the people that are willing to learn. We have the people that are willing to invest and create partnerships to make us better. So for me, I'm just very grateful that we're here today, finally, after all the discussions we've had. And many times it's what it takes, right? You need to talk. And I'm very grateful for MD Anderson for coming down and helping us, the advisory role, providing guidance from their experience, the research. So for us, this is nothing but another win-win for us in trying to expand our healthcare services. I want to thank President Guy Bailey for his leadership. President Bailey and Dean Hocker was right. You're a very patient person, very experienced person. Well, maybe not with Val, I don't know about that. Very patient there too. But I work with many presidents, the chancellors like Chancellor Cigaroa. I never met a president of a university, and I meet them throughout the state of Texas. I'm vice chair of finance, and President Bailey is very unique in his experience, his knowledge, his patience, and the way he can smooth problems out to get them solved. Everybody just chill out, settle down. So thank you for that type of leadership. And then Dean Hocker came down, and I met him and talked to him, and at a time there was a lot of turbulence here with our medical school. He settled things down. It's providing very solid, stable leadership that we need. And we have the right staff, we have the right doctors, we have the right instructors. And for us, it's all teamwork. City of McAllen put in some funds. We have the University of Texas Board of Regents. So we have a lot of resources here, and with a lot of people to thank. So for me, I just want to thank you all for being here. It's a very special day. I will also tell you that when I think of all the friends I have who've been impacted and affected in this horrible disease of cancer, for us, it offers hope. Hope that we will someday find a cure. But for sure, we know we'll be able to diagnose and minimize and catch cancer earlier to cure it and take care of it. God bless you all.
Thanks for those outstanding words. I'd like to introduce the next speaker. Our partnerships with our cities are important. Guy reminds me, we're not UTRGV McAllen, we're not UTRGV Edinburgh, we're not UTRGV Harlingen, or not UTRGV Brownsville. We really represent the Valley. But our relationships with our cities are essential, and their support in all that we do is essential. And especially here, this campus in McAllen, we couldn't have made this possible without the help of the McAllen government and the mayor. And so Mayor Javier Villalobos, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for your support.
And good morning, nice to see everybody. You know what, it doesn't matter how old you get, you keep on learning things. One thing I learned today is this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a page from Guy Bailey's playbook. I'm gonna bring my wife, put her in the front. And I'm gonna recognize her, and I'm gonna get some brownie points. And Dr. Hawker, don't worry about it. Dean Hawker, don't worry about it. 150 million, that's just the beginning. I know we're gonna do great things. We're gonna do great things. But look, what I wanna talk about is about the spirit of cooperation, just like the senator said, about working together. It's something that's so important to us. The city of McAllen, we contribute a little bit. You know what, it might not be much, but for us to be part of this project is an amazing thing. We saw during COVID, when they closed the bridge, we realized that our area was going down for a little bit, and then it bounced. And it bounced back. The sales taxes were up. Everything was up. The economy, we realized that our area is self-sustaining, but we have a problem. When our people need specialized care, they can't be here. They have to go to Houston. They have to go to San Antonio. They have to go elsewhere. So this is why I'm so happy that we're finally doing this. I talked about this in the State of the City, and I think less than a year we're here. Gentlemen, thank y'all so much. We made a partnership and we made a commitment to UTRGV, a financial commitment. We will fulfill that commitment. But I also want to tell UTRGV, Dr. Bailey, we stand ready to help. Should we need or should there be different projects? I see my city manager back there. We stand ready to help. And we will. It's very important to us. It is very important to us. What do we do here in the city of McAllen? And this is why sometimes we get questions by constituents. Why are you all assisting UTRGV? Well, you know what? We do water, sewer, police protection, fire protection, parks, quality of life. And what else? And what is as important as having good quality medical facilities? And to me, that's one of the most important things I think that our city can do for our community. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. Dean Hawker, Dr. Guy, the city of McAllen stands ready to help.
All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us for this historic celebration of our new UTRGV Academic Medical Campus. I'll say this again. The people of the RGV are deserving of a world-class academic medical center, and we intend to give them, as an early Christmas present in 2024, a new academic medical center, and we will see our first patients in early 2025 as a New Year's gift. I ask our guests to gather over by the signs for a ceremonial groundbreaking. Those with hard hats, please assemble, and let's shovel some dirt. Thanks again.
All right, are you ready? To your right. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Let's give her a